Yo, what's up, y'all? Ben here, and today we're talking about mobile esports. Before we get into that topic, however, I want to make a small announcement. I have moved to a new clan. It's called CNS Alpha. They're an active Goho clan that takes care of business. Talked about it a bit in my previous video, that there's too many people that are discouraged by the new update and they're turning away to Clash Royale and other games. The core of Global Golems was active and they were actually pretty good, but unfortunately there were, out of 30 people in the clan, the other 20 were starting to fade out into the distance. So unfortunately the active core of the Global Golems has moved out into this new clan called CNS Alpha. It shall be our new home. I hope I can see some of you guys there. If not, no worries, stay in your clan. It's gonna be the same old, showing you guys raids, teaching you guys some new things, showing what I've learned, stuff like that. But that's not today's topic. Getting back into today's topic, can Clash of Clans or Clash Royale become an esport? I think that has been a major question that has been bugging us, although it has already been answered in my opinion. So I'm going to be making some comparisons to Hearthstone, which is a mobile game that's actually a big esport right now, and I'll also be comparing that to CSGO, which is also an esport that's very large, but it's not on the mobile platform. You have to play this on PC. I'll mention Dota 2 here and there, but in terms of knowing the game that I really know more than anything else is CSGO, because I actually play the game. I know a little bit about Hearthstone, I know a little bit about Dota 2. Both of them will help you guys understand, but ultimately that's not my expertise. If you guys want to see how big those esports are, I suggest you guys go watch another video. So, the first topic of discussion for today is the tournaments that these games have had in the past, and I'm just going to compare them. So for Clash of Clans, their past tournaments, they used to be about one day, one night of streaming. They have a small gem prize pool, but in general, what the teams are playing for are just for, the name. People say congratulations, you actually won a tournament. ClashCon was the only tournament that took about 2 to 3 days, and it was on a big stage with multiple teams. However, there was a huge drawback in their system. They had basically 2 people attack at a time, and there's lots of downtime in between their attacks. And that made it very slow paced and didn't really make it very fun to watch, in my opinion. And on top of that, there were a lot of kinks that they needed to fix, and their production quality was actually pretty low. I mean, with 2 people trying to attack at once, I want to see the other raid at the same time, but they could only really show one raid on the screen at one time. At one point they tried to do a split screen, but that made it way too small to see anything, so they eventually just turned back to showing one raid. They just choose one raid out of the 2 raids that were happening. So you missed out on a lot, and it wasn't very fun. Now, turning to Clash Royale tournaments, these tournaments are much larger than those Clash of Clans tournaments because they're in clan wars and you only have about 10 teams. For Royale, however, there are 50 people in each tournament, and they take about a day to finish. You've seen these on streams. You've seen this in the very recent tournament that was hosted by Supercell. Each battle maxes out at about 6 minutes, and there's a gem prize. Larger tournaments have much larger pools, but again, most of these players out there are playing for that name. I mean, really, what are you going to do with 14,000 gems? The guys in the quarterfinals of that tournament pretty much were maxed out players. So, I mean, gems were not that useful to them at all. Production quality was definitely better than ClashCon because they already hosted one event, but this was still a little bit mixed up, and there was actually too much downtime in my opinion. I mean, the guys at the desks who were analyzing those battles took 15 minutes just blabbering away about nonsense when you really only saw about 3 minutes of battle. I mean, that doesn't add up. On CSGO tournaments, however, that's a different story. People at the desk would spend about 15 to 20 minutes analyzing a 40 to 60 minute battle. That would make sense. Some of these tournaments are large and they play over 1 month, and then in the final week, it's all clustered together with the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals with the top 8 teams. On top of that, CSGO has been around for a while now, so they have figured out everything from production quality to what the fans want to see and anything like that. Now mind this, that CSGO is in fact a PC game. You can't play this on the mobile. So if we're going to look at a mobile esport, Hearthstone is the next closest thing. Their tournaments again last over a couple of days. They have a relatively large prize pool and they get that name. So what sets these games apart? Well, let's look at this. Is there a progression system? For Clash of Clans, yes, there's a progression system. For Clash Royale, yes, same thing. For CSGO, no, everybody starts off in the same boat. For Hearthstone, somewhat, not really, so no. The reason why the progression system is a key part of becoming an esport is because players at the beginning levels or still progressing would feel unconnected when they see the top level players play in a way basically they cannot play. And I mean, the progression system really hinders the playing field because in Clash of Clans, there was never an even playing field unless they are in the tournament setting where everybody has equal heroes, equal troop levels. Same thing for Clash Royale. There actually is a tournament setting in Clash Royale. You can play this normally in your clans. In CSGO, it's already an automatic even playing field. Everybody gets the same guns, everybody gets the same nades. That doesn't make a difference. It's all about the player and what he does. For Hearthstone, it's an even playing field. Like I said, there's no uneven card levels. Everybody gets the card. You can do whatever you want with that card. Now moving on past this, whether or not players feel connected or not, the one thing that connects players to those pro level players and teams is betting. In Clash of Clans, there is no betting. You have nothing to bet. What are you going to bet? Gems? Yeah, that makes sense. For Clash Royale, what are you going to bet? Your cards? There's no system that allows you to bet your cards, which in fact if they let you bet your cards, I'm pretty sure Clash Royale would become a pretty huge success. For CSGO and Dota 2, CSGO, you get to bet skins and weapon finishes. For Dota 2, you get to bet items. I mean, this has really helped through Steam where you get to trade these items. You basically have to have a platform to trade these items through, or else it's not going to work. By allowing players to place bets on professional teams and players, that actually gives a connection to those professional teams without actually knowing those guys personally. I mean, it essentially gives a reason for you to root for someone. I mean, take that random white dude who won the Clash Royale tournament just a couple weeks ago. I mean, I didn't root for that guy at all because I didn't even know the guy. I have no connection with him. And basically, bets is the way to do that. Yes, it's crazy to say bets are the only way for you to root for a team. But really, if you look at that Clash Royale tournament, were you really rooting for anybody? I mean, you didn't know any of those guys there. I mean, if you guys have any idea on how to get fans drawn into Clash Royale, I'm all ears because so far I don't really see Clash Royale making any dent into the esport business. Although Supercell might try really hard, I highly doubt that it will be very successful because of, again, the characteristics that allow a game to become an esport. So, Clash Royale has a bit of promise to become an esport, but in general, it's highly unlikely that it will grow to become a major scene in the esport business. Mark my words for that. Remember, I'm Ben, and I'll see y'all next time.